want to love a board game, but you just can't, no matter how hard you try. Unfortunately, that was our experience with the board game Sail. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Sail has a lot of things going for it. It is a cooperative trick-taking game where you're trying to work together to navigate a treacherous sea. Players will take turns playing cards. The first player sets the lead color, and then the second player plays according or in response to what the first player has played. If possible, they have to match the color that the first player has set out. Depending on what the symbols on the cards are, will determine what happens. If you get this little steering wheel icon, the ship will go towards the player who played the highest number. If you get matching mermaid symbols here, then the ship will move forward. If at any point you get a steering wheel with a tentacle, the Kraken attacks. And if you get 2 cannons, then you draw a card from the player deck and based off of that card, do the effect. If you want a tutorial of the game, I'll provide a link to a full tutorial on how to play this game. I'll have a link. It's really, really simple. Okay, so what I've said sounds interesting or intriguing, that's how we felt when we saw this game at the store and picked it up. And not to mention, it is in this really cute, compact box, and I love it when simple games do not take up a lot of shelf space. And I think the artwork is okay. Some of the numbers are a little hard to see, especially on this map. There was a point where I kept mistaking the 9s for 3s because I'm looking at it at a distance, and maybe that's just my eyes getting old. Who knows? The little wooden cutouts of the ship, wooden cubes I like. We've played this game 6-7 times, and some of the cards are already showing some wear and tear, which isn't quite common. I don't know what's going on there, but that is an issue that we've noticed. But component quality, I'd say overall, is really good. The art direction's pretty good, although I do wish that they would have included these green and gray colors are a little samey. So I don't know. I think I would have chosen a different hue maybe for this gray. I see what they were trying to go with. They were trying to go with like murky Atlantic water, but it just for some reason I don't like the gray. And while the artwork is fine, I'm not a huge fan of the style of the characters. It just doesn't mesh with me. So put that in the subjective category. You might like it. So at this point, I've talked about things that I mainly like about the game. What are things that I don't like? First of all, the scenarios, there's 5 total, but they're not really different. They're just longer. I'm not a huge fan of some of the layouts of this. If you look at the number 5 scenario, there's a point where it takes away, the way that it's laid out, it's not very fun to maneuver through. And it wasn't even that hard, but you do have to get lucky to get through. You could be unlucky, and there's absolutely nothing you could do as players to win the game. And so it just feels like you're kind of going to be restarting a couple of times until you get that really good hand that just lets you breeze through, and then it kind of feels too easy. There's a rule that says players are free to talk between rounds, but may not communicate from the time the cards are dealt until after the final trick of the round is played. So for me and my wife, we found this to be more annoying, and we actually discarded this rule completely. Now, we made a rule that we couldn't talk about strategy, like I couldn't say, hey, it would be great if you had a green 7. Yeah, we just talked like we normally do. So it is a frustrating rule for us. Like, oh, you're supposed to be quiet, so you just kind of sit there. So other trick-taking games have said that, hey, just don't tell them what to play. And I think that's a better rule. Another complaint I'd have is most of these abilities don't feel very useful. Like this one, when you advance a ship containing an orange wheel, you may advance the ship in the direction of your partner instead. okay, so yay. And so the orange wheels are these blue cards here. They have the orange wheel on them, but it's like, okay, so in a limited amount of time, I'm going to be able to use that ability. So this one is, you may look at the card passed by your opponent before choosing your card to pass them back. It just doesn't feel super useful, especially if you have a good partner. Once they figure out how to play the game, you can just trust them to give you the right card. So the captain, you can choose to advance the ship forward 2 spaces if you move with the same numbers of a 1, 2, or 3, which means you're also going to get hit by the Kraken, and I'll get into the Kraken in a second. But once you've won your 4 tricks, you're able to win 1 more. You're able to play 1 more, which was nice because it gives you an extra turn. And the other one that I found, which was more useful, is if you can get the same number, but it's a 6, 7, or an 8, then you can go straight in 1 space instead, which we found to be extremely helpful. So we ended up just going with these 2 cards and never using these. So it is a bummer that these abilities don't feel very powerful. Again, the captain, I could see that being somewhat useful, but half the characters I don't think are very viable, especially for later levels. So I wish they would have been play tested more. And ultimately, I think that's the biggest issue with this game. I don't feel like it was play tested enough, and blind play tested at that. This book is this is the rule book. It's double-sided. This size right here. The problem is, it's not very clear. When you pick it up, it talks about first page setup. That's fine. That's totally fine. In fact, you should start out with how to set up the game. Then you go over here and you just get the first rule, can't talk. Okay. Then it talks about doing an exchange, and you're like, okay, so I'm going to deal the cards in exchange like it says. It talks about playing the tricks, and then it goes to Kraken damage. And you're like, okay. But then you're like, how does this work? Well, the game explains that you move a card from your discard pile, or from the Kraken deck to your discard pile. And then it mentions if the Kraken is the only card in the player's thing, you lose. Okay. But then you read that and you're like, okay, so what are these numbers for? You're looking for the rulebook saying, okay, what are those numbers for? How do I know what those numbers mean? So then it talks about the end of the round, and it says when a player wins their 4th trick, the Kraken damages this ship equal to the number of times in the Kraken evil. Okay, that's what the numbers are for. But why are there more numbers? What does that mean? Because I don't know when to advance it. And then it says you reset the trick cubes to 0, you advance the tracker disc, and then you shuffle the cards again and go again for the next round. The rules are not as clear as they could be. I think that the rule book is too small. They should have given some examples of how to play. What happens is you find out by reading the Kraken card that whenever this gets played, so when you would draw it, instead of one of the numbered cards that would go to the discard pile, it goes to the bottom of the stack. And then you advance the Kraken token. And then at the end of the turn is when the Kraken will damage the ship equal to the number here. So you got 2 3s, a 4, a 5, and then a skull. And if it ever gets the skull, you lose. The issue that we had with that was, first of all, it feels like right away you're just immediately worried about, like, we gotta throw cards at the bottom of the Kraken deck. And it doesn't feel like you can viably ever use your 3s to advance the ship, because those Kraken cards are really, like, there's not a lot of room for breathing, because even if you don't take any damage, within 2 turns, this is the only card you've lost in 2 turns. So, which is fine, there's supposed to be a balancing act, but this just doesn't feel fun. And I think that for us has been the most disappointing thing about this game. It's not fun to play. It's not very enjoyable. We were laughing, but we were laughing at how frustrated we were getting when we were trying to play the game. There's just your cards do not let you move. And when the game demands perfect timing and a really tight, almost perfect play, and there's cards that don't let you, like you don't have the right combinations. So in one case, it's like, oh, Olivia's gonna play the blue 6 with a steering wheel. Hopefully, knowing that we need to, we could go forward in one direction or the other, so it doesn't matter. And all I have is a blue 9. Well, wasted cards. And that 9, I was hoping to use later on because I might have given Olivia 9. And that gets frustrating because that feels like that happens a lot. You hope against hope that you're like, okay, I do have a really low card. I have, at the point the Kraken cards will go back into the deck and they kind of get back into the economy. Hey, if I would go towards Olivia, we're going to hit a Kraken, but the only thing I have that's a low number might be this gray 2. And so I play that, hoping that, obviously Olivia's going to have something higher, right? Nope, she has the gray 1, and then so we take the 2 hits from the tentacles, and we run into the Kraken and take a 3rd hit, clearing out our Kraken deck, costing us the game. An utter disappointment. And this would be okay if the rest of the game were fun, but it unfortunately is not. I'm not sure what the solution is to make this game more fun, because I've played trick-taking games that I like.
For example, wait, hold on. I think I can't get this. For example,
So my favorite and my gold standard for trick-taking games that are cooperative are the Lord of the Ring trick-taking games. No, these are not overrated. Yes, these are insanely fun, and I will be doing a review on them as soon as I finish completing them. I think these play best at 4 players, and so it's kind of hard sometimes to get that right group, but I will get a review on these done soon. If you're looking for a 2-player trick-taking game, my wife and I have had a lot of fun playing Jekyll and Hyde versus Scotland Yard. This should, in theory, have some of the same frustrations as this game, but it doesn't. We're going to have to do a review on this game to explain why. If you're on the fence about buying Sail, I would say don't. Get this instead. You'll have way more of a good time. In conclusion, I really wanted to like this game. And there are things about it I definitely like. But if you get it, sleeve your cards like right away, because I don't know what happened. It's frustrating because these cards have that nice texture where they got a grip to them. But I'll see if I can get a close up. But yeah, I just noticed some wear and tear on the cards, which is frustrating because we have not had it that long. The other thing too is this isn't a make or break for me, but a lot of board games will make sure that there is a there's like a colorblind way of interpreting the cards. They might have done that with these colors. I'm not sure if a colorblind person can see these colors or not. They're definitely not the same shade, so maybe. But I think it would have just gone a long way to put symbols in. It's, again, not necessarily a make or break with me, but that is something that you should consider. It really wouldn't be that much more expensive to add those symbols. This is the first time I've done a review on a game where Dice Brigade doesn't recommend a board game. I really, really hope that they consider giving this game a second edition, because the premise is good, but the execution needed work. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take the initiative and roll out and roll your R's.